There's huntsman work, and then there's work that only a huntsman can stomach. In Mistral, you'll get both kinds. Full of thieves and assassins, this is a region where the people can be just as, if not more, dangerous than the Grimm. If you don't know how to watch yourself, a wrong back alley can swallow you up just as easily as a manticore. It's the type of place where secrets live in the open. Perfect for the brazen sort to make an unscrupulous living. Unlike GiveO, this isn't where people go to disappear. It's where they go to make empires. Hidden amongst the winding mountains and in the belly of the underworld, you're sure to find them. Just make sure you don't stick your nose too far where it doesn't belong.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the Grimm campaign. I'm your host and headmaster, Eddie Rivas, and with me are the members of Team SAFR, and we will go ahead and run through introductions there. Starting
nice shirt,
with,
by the way, Eddie.
Oh yeah, this is kind of the,
What?
yeah, nice shirt. Well, you can't really see it. This is nice shirt, Pike.
Wait, guys. What?
Are you
Oh,
serious?
this is embarrassing. It was cool, and now it's embarrassing. I'm a little embarrassed
Yeah.
Way to
Oh.
go, Chris.
Okay,
now.
I'll leave now.
Can we do a charisma check to see who wore it first?
I'd like to do a charisma check to see who wore it best.
I was
there we go.
waiting
That's,
for
that's
it.
better. You're right. That's better.
I'm not kidding you guys. I just rolled a nat 20.
That's not fair.
I don't believe it.
3.
All right, I think I beat Pike, so I get second best.
But yeah, this shirt should be available on the restricted store, or might be by the time.
I can't see the rest of Chad's shirt, so he might as well be
Yeah,
wearing
Chad
it.
might as
and
well be
I
wearing
might
it.
Laura's just got a cool headband, which I like. So
Okay, so let's introduce you guys. We already halfway did. Members of Team SAFR, starting with... We'll start with Laura, who's the leader of Team SAFR. We'll just go in order. We'll mix it up.
I'm Laura, and I play Arashtra Sky.
I'm Chad. I play Asher Moore, who's the in Sapphire.
Hi, I'm Chris Gokinos, and I play the Phoenix.
my name is Carrie Shawcross, and I play Pike Wright, who almost died. I forgot I was gonna go with that. I'm sorry.
So we'll just jump. I'll recap where we came from last week out of this energy here. You guys just got back from robbing the sheriff's station. You have a couple of goals in Kuchinashi, right? One of them is to try to see if you can recruit some people to being able to marshal a force that can help take back the city. You guys decided, regretfully, not to do that, and instead you did a different job first, which was kind of your second objective that you guys were given by Takaya here in the city. You guys are trying to stop these items from getting out of Kuchinashi, and your first way that you decided to do that was to rob the sheriff's station, where you were told by Templeton, the tech guy that you have on your side, that some of these things are being held in the evidence room at the sheriff's station. You guys went on a heist. You got some of the cases out. You almost got blown up by a tank. Pike went through a very rush hour action sequence trying to escape it, ruined a bunch of people's lunch, and you guys just managed to escape. You took a little bit of damage. I would remind at least some of you that kind of some outstanding information that you've got is that that Asher got a little bit of a kind of a heads up about his past. That was some of the Taskmaster's payment that he was making. He promised each of you payment in relation to your past, and he's sort of delivered on Asher's already. So you guys got back. You kind of took the evening to regroup. It's the next day. What you guys did is sort of the talk of kind of the not just like the city, but also these like underground sewers, right? You guys went up and robbed the sheriff's station in broad daylight and blew up a big chunk of you didn't blow up the chunk of the city, right? The wave did.
Wasn't us.
Trying to catch you guys. And you left the sheriff behind, and right, that's sort of where we're at now. It's the next day, and right, Takaya has asked to see you guys to kind of run down what happened.
I also just want to point out, you mentioned we robbed it in broad daylight. Not a single moment did it occur to any of us where we're like, maybe we should wait until dark to break.
You guys just went. You just went.
I mean, yeah, early bird gets the worm, dude. I mean,
I didn't expect you to go when you did, and certainly not. You just were like, yeah, we just had breakfast. Let's go rob the sheriff's station.
ooh, did you say breakfast? I know what I'm doing now.
Yeah, Takaya's got breakfast tacos waiting for you in his office.
I've left the. Oh, they're in his office. Okay, I was gonna say
Yeah,
I left the
he
good ones in
knew.
the cafeteria.
He was prepared for you. I'd like to walk in and sit down and like, okay, well, I think that went pretty well.
None of us died.
You guys didn't make it back with Alabaster. What happened there?
Phoenix and I took care of the wall, so y'all two go ahead.
We got these cases out of there, didn't we?
Yeah.
Sometimes your plan A doesn't pay off, so you just have to improvise. And unfortunately for Alabaster, the plan B on the fly caused him to get locked on the other side of a door.
He kind of sits there and thinks about that for a second. He's like, well, it would have been nice to have Alabaster with us. Maybe it would have helped a little bit in organizing the city guard, but I am glad that you were able to make it back with these cases. It's going to take Templeton a little bit of time to break into them, right? They have these different electronic locks on them, and he's going to have to figure out a way to break into them, and then we'll see what's inside. You know, once we take a look at things, there might be a chance that there could be something that one of you could use kind of in your quest to kind of write things in Kuchinashi, and maybe there could be something of use. We're going to have to hide and kind of squirrel some of these things away because they're pretty dangerous and powerful. We don't know what all they do, but maybe there's something that could be of use to one of you in there. So yeah, that's where you guys are with that. So you know, Takaya lets you know that there was some different reports that have come in. It seems like you guys were able to escape without your escape route being noticed. So that's good. That's good for everyone down here. But yeah, everyone's very excited that you were able to make it back. How have you guys been doing on your other task? We really need to get more people on our side to be able to take the city back, and without Alabaster, it's going to make getting the city guard back a little bit more difficult.
In my notebook, I wrote down 2 goals, and I wrote down objects, so I'm going to check that one off. And
is this Pike talking or is this Carrie talking?
Yes. And then I wrote get city back. Okay, so how do we get the city back?
Well, I was hoping you guys would have some ideas about that.
I looked to the next page and I just write brainstorm ideas to get city back.
Yeah, I know of someone we can talk to, but we're gonna have to find her first.
Do you know where she might be?
Eddie, do I know where she might be?
Well, we can get to that. We can get to that.
Can I poke Asher's tummy and be like, who's this her?
I'm gonna tell you right now that if he goes to poke Asher's tummy, he's going to take damage.
Carrie, are you gonna try to poke?
I'd like to roll to Pillsbury Doughboy Asher. 15.
What did he roll? Okay, so Asher, why don't you tell everyone what you rolled?
I rolled a 1.
I feel like Asher rolls the best ones.
All right, so I'm doing this. I'm going in and I'm like, who's this her?
Asher, you actually like pathetically try to stop him from doing it and you miss, and he just like
I'm too distracted thinking about my past, right? Yeah.
Okay, so Asher has let you guys know right on the subject of if you guys had any leads on this. Asher has kind of thrown out into the room that he might know somebody.
Yeah, Eddie, would you please regale everyone with what the Taskmaster told Asher?
Is this because you don't remember it?
You're damn right.
The Taskmaster cornered him and said that his payment was gonna to let Asher know the location of the woman that almost cost him his life the last time he was in Kuchinashi. And what he said was that this woman, known to Asher as Miss Pyre, she goes by a name the Hearth, and it's an organization probably one of the dirtiest ones out there, known for assassinations, the guild of thieves and assassins basically. And she changed her name, changed her identity, and that is sort of what Asher knows. And the Taskmaster suggested that she might owe you one for how she did you dirty last time that you were in town. If you wanted somebody on your side to help out, the Hearth might be a good place to start.
I have now shared all of that with you guys.
Sounds like there's a lot to unpack there, but maybe we can get some help?
Do you know where she might be?
All I know is that she seems to be running this organization, so we're gonna have to start asking around. But can I be real with you guys? There's a 50-50 shot that she'll either help us or kill us.
What happened?
Despite how trustworthy she might seem, she's definitely not one to be trusted.
So yeah, we're just gonna jump straight into kind of like a proper flashback. So yeah, we're gonna jump back to all these years ago, right? Because Asher's a little bit older than all the rest of you guys. He's been out of Shade Academy. Like, don't kill me if I'm wrong. I want to say Shade Academy.
Right.
And kind of one of the first things that you did once you graduated from there, you came to Kuchinashi. What was the reason?
Originally trying to get some huntsman work, but there wasn't a lot to be found.
Yeah. So yeah, you got to Kuchinashi, right? Like kind of fresh out of school, and right, you learned pretty quickly that things didn't work the way they do across the rest of Remnant here, right? It's a dirty business. There's a lot of bad things going on, and there's more huntsmen here to do harm than good, generally. And right, it was really hard work. Like you tried to get some honest work here, and it just didn't go very, very well for you, right? You can make a living trying to protect the city battlements from Grimm, but in between that, like most of the high
Asher
profile
does not
huntsmen
have money, by the way.
Yeah,
does not come from money. So
yeah, you're trying to get all the money you can, but it's hard to come by honest work here. And so eventually, right, it becomes more appealing to start making a living kind of doing jobs of kind of dirtier means. What do you think, just kind of from your point of view, like what do you think Asher kind of was your foray into that world?
Despite how I've rolled throughout this entire campaign, theft. No, so yeah, it was started as, you know, just some odd jobs here and there for some items that needed to be acquired, and then there were some moral compromises that were made, or maybe an assassination here and there, but only if I felt they deserved it. You know, I would get to kind of pick and choose and be like, hey, like if, you know, they want this person killed, and it's like, well, why do you want this person killed? If it was just like, oh, well, they're an inconvenience to me, then like Asher wouldn't pick it up. But if it was like, oh, because, you know, they're a monster, and they like did these horrible things, and so there's this hit that's been put out on because, yeah.
So Asher kind of made his way there, right? And it was just kind of like scrapping by, trying to make ends meet, make some money, and it was easiest to do it by doing these kind of dirty gigs. How is everyone reacting to this information that Asher has
Be honest, how many kids?
An indeterminable amount. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I think it's understandable. I don't feel like Arash is that surprised by it.
Pike is nodding solemnly.
We'll flash forward a little bit of time, right? You spent several months in Kuchinashi trying to make your way. We're going to zoom in on kind of a dark night in the city, and you're on one of your paid gigs. It's a shop in the hedges. They're moving illegal contraband. Your client knows kind of they've got kind of a drop location where they stash some of the stuff before they move it. There's a small window where the drop is blind, and if you're able to kind of snatch this stuff during that window, theoretically nobody's even going to know, and you're going to be able to make a killing, right? This is kind of one of the bigger jobs that you've been able to get in a while, and really nobody seems to get hurt from it, which has you a little bit more excited. You're watching this back alley from rooftop, watching as these goons come and go, and they're leaving these kind of packages kind of in this drop container in the back of this dumpster. You get an alert on your scroll. It lets you know that across the hedges, the guy who's supposed to come collect all this stuff just triggered the gravity dust trap that you left outside of his apartment, and he's going to be stuck there for a little bit. So now's your chance to move in. So as you kind of leap down and start to make your way towards this dumpster, you're surprised to see another figure moving through the shadows toward the same location. And this is Abigail Pyre, the person that you will come to know shortly. Short, fiery hair, dark eyes. She's got two like wicked looking daggers and the peak of a flame tattoo shooting out above the collar of her outfit. You see her kind of moving towards this dumpster, also, you know, with intent. What do you do?
I would like to sneak up on her.
Great, give me a dexterity check.
20.
You actually are able to sneak up all the way behind her. What are you doing? Are you like grabbing her, aiming your weapons at her, or are you just like, what are you doing?
I think more just like, I mean, I've got a weapon out just in case, but I want to surprise and startle her by tapping her on the shoulder.
Okay, so you tap her on the shoulder, and she immediately turns this into like crazy like judo flip attempt, but because you startled her so much, it doesn't quite work, right? And you kind of get the jump on her. You have the weapon, and she kind of stops, and she's like, I guess I'm not the only one on this beat tonight. And she kind of holds her hands up.
Who are you working for?
Who are you working for? And she doesn't even let you answer, right? She stops and she's like, okay, like, here's the thing. I don't have a boss on this one. I've been gathering information on these guys for a while. My guess is your boss is someone that's been trying to scam me out of this job. And I know what he's going to tell you your cut is. And I promise you that I can pay you more. We can split it 60-40.
I assume 60 my way.
She's like, well, it's not going to be 60 your way. You can take it and take it back to your boss. I can tell you he's only give you a fraction of what I'm going to give you.
I mean, yeah, I'm only doing this for the money. So if you can you can prove, but I want to keep this. I want to keep whatever indeterminable object we're stealing here. It's not going to leave my sight until you can show me what you're paying me.
She's like, okay, fair enough. She kind of takes a step back and she looks at you and she spots you for a huntsman like right away. I mean, she just kind of is able to tell, and she's like, huh, I didn't think huntsmen usually did this kind of thing.
Everybody's got to eat.
That's true. Usually you don't see someone so young resorting to this so quickly. To be honest, it would be really good to have a huntsman on my crew. Maybe we can make this work.
All right, well, we'll see how this job goes.
How about we flip for it? And so she pulls a coin out and flips it up in the air, and we jump forward. Right. This is how you first got synced up with Abigail, and the rest was history. Right. You guys started doing jobs together, a whole lot of them. She plays things pretty close to the vest. But soon you both kind of see how you guys complement each other, right? Like you're the stealth person. She's the person with a plan. She knows how to make things happen. She knows how to talk her way out of almost anything, right? And she's able to cut deals. She's got way more contacts than you could even dream of in the city. And she's able to kind of get you guys all kinds of work, and you guys working together are able to kind of go to heights that neither of you could have on your own. Her daggers actually work very similarly to your glaives, only they're magnetized to one another, and they have like kind of a special clip on her holster, and she's all over the place in a fight and is able to kind of send these things to each other, away from each other. So it's interesting that you guys even have very similar weapons in that regard, right? But she's much more quick to go for the kill than Asher is. So a little bit of time later, after a pretty big payday, you guys are celebrating. There was you're at some dive in the hedges, and she slides you a drink, and she asks you why you became a huntsman.
There's no way I'm going to tell Team Sapphire
Okay.
this.
Wow.
Okay. But for real, in character Asher, there's no way like he would go into that much detail. I think at this point, Asher would tell her. There's no way Asher would include this in the flashback, is what I'm getting at.
I feel like I have to take my headphones off. I feel naughty listening to this.
This is bearing the core of Asher when we created this character, just so you know.
Okay, I definitely muted my microphone. I mean, my headphones.
Yeah, you guys can hear it. Team Sapphire does not know this information. Go for it.
I come from a little no-name village in Vacuo. My parents were killed by Grimm when I was young, and the village kind of took me in. I, would stay with one family one night, one family for another, but they raised me, and obviously, all I wanted to do was kill some Grimm to get back at how my family was taken from me. So huntsman seemed like the best path. So, and I also, it's good money in being a huntsman if you can find work and don't make the mistake of coming to this hellhole. My plan was to become a huntsman. Kind of two birds, one stone, kill some Grimm and send part of what I earn back to the village that raised me.
Oh, he's a good boy at heart.
Yeah, she listens to your story, and then she tells you a story too. And it surprises you, right? Abigail was never exactly very forthcoming, right? She played everything super close to the vest. But that night, something seems different, right? She talks about how her father got in debt with the wrong people, and he paid for it. And she kind of sits there for a while, and she's like, one day I'm going to make them pay too. But you've got to be as dirty as them to get to them. But yeah, so you see, she tells you the story, and right, you actually see a surprising amount of emotion. She's kind of staring into her glass for just a second, and then it's gone. And she slides your scroll back to you, and she's like, oh, here, by the way, I put these on your tab. Over the next few weeks, right, you hear her tell different stories. Right, people ask her how she gets into this, right? You guys do work with all kinds of people, and over the next few weeks, right, you hear her tell a different version of that story to just about everybody, and sometimes the stories are wildly different. Did Asher believe her that night?
When she did the retellings of these stories, did I see that same like glimpse behind the mask of emotion, or no?
Actually, give me an insight check. Let's figure it out.
I quit.
What was it?
A 1!
Oh my god! I shouldn't even have to ask at this
Why?
point.
You were about to tell me. There was like one more word is all I needed from you. and
I was
instead
like,
you're like, wait, no, let's roll.
Yeah, so
And
Asher...
my second critical fail for the evening.
So, man, right during your backstory, too. So, yeah, Asher, right, you really can't pin it down, and can't figure out what, which of these stories is real, whether or not. And for Asher, it's like, man, she just is a good actor, I guess, and I don't even know if what she told me was what's true. Right, so we'll flash forward another few weeks, right? Still more jobs coming down. One night, she grabs you from your apartment. Give me a perception check real quick.
8.
So she actually manages to sneak up on you and wakes you up like in the middle of the night. You had no idea that she even got into your apartment, right? She was able to get past all of your little security measures that you've got set up to sleep soundly, and she just wakes you up, and she's like, "Come on, we have to go right now."
Yeah, what's going on?
Are you gonna come or not?
Yes, I mean that was an instant yes. He's going
Okay.
to like that was the.
She said no
what's
questions.
What's
Asher.
going on as getting ready in their relationship? She knows that
Okay,
means
great.
he's down.
Yeah, so she leads you across the rooftops over to the hedges, and you follow her. She doesn't really say anything. She's got this kind of very serious look on her face that you've almost never seen from her before. She leads you to an alley, tells you to stand guard, and she goes and waits kind of near the back door of this shop. Eventually, this guy comes out from the shop. It's all pretty far away. You don't get a good look at him. It doesn't even really matter. He comes out. She's on him in a flash. This isn't like your normal gigs, right? Like you guys have gone and like roughed people up in the past, but this is different. She is on this guy in a flash. She's usually having fun with that. She's very theatrical, likes to talk and make a big show while you're there. I mean, she takes this guy down super fast, slams him up against the wall, has her daggers out, right? Like there is a viciousness to this. You hear him kind of yelp in pain, but she presses and actually cuts him a few times, breaks his arm, and you can tell that she means business, and she is about to take this guy's life. What do you do?
Perception check.
Yeah, go for it.
Thank you.
He's dead.
19.
You don't see that there's much kind of going on, right? You guys are pretty much in the clear. She was staked out for this moment.
Cool. I would like to then like run up to her, grab her by the shoulder, and say, Abby, what's going on?
She looks at you like very seriously, and she says, "He's one of the people that needs to pay."
Asher would like to turn, kick this dude, and say, "What did you do?"
All right, so yeah, you like kind of kick him like straight in the face, right? He collapses. She kind of glares at you for intervening, and he's like, I don't even know. I didn't do anything. And she kind of rounds on you and gives you a shove, and she's like, "Please stay out of this. I asked you to stand guard. He is one of the people connected to my father's death."
You might want to get some information out of him before you kill him.
She's like, "No, I actually have everything I need to know. This is just payment. Are you gonna let me do it or not?"
Oh yeah, Asher was already turning to the guy and says, "Well, sucks to be you, man." Like, and then
Okay, yeah, you turn away and you hear the deed gets done, right? You kind of give her a few seconds, right? Not facing her. You hear her like let out this huge, like kind of shuddered breath, and she comes up and joins you, and wordlessly, right? She kind of helps you get back to your apartment. She doesn't say anything. Over the next few weeks, she's distant. Right, you don't actually hear from her the way you normally do. Normally, there's kind of check-ins where she's letting you know, like, "Hey, I have a lead on a job," or "Hey, this is kind of going on," or sometimes she'll just like send you a text in your scroll just to like, right, give you crap about something, right? But she kind of goes radio silent for a little bit, and then finally just shows up at your door again, looking like her normal self, like almost like nothing had ever happened, and she's got a new job. She says it's basically going to be the payment of a lifetime. It's a job for the Hana gang, right? And at this point, you guys know that, like, right, there's these big players. You've never done a job for one of these big players before. And she's got it all set up. She's like, all they need us to do is we're going to steal something from a nobleman's safe. We don't even... It's like, it almost doesn't even matter who it is, right? This is going to be like a cakewalk. And you guys go for it. The whole thing goes off without a hitch. You hit his house like basically in broad daylight. You run lookout while she hits the safe. Everything goes completely perfectly as planned. Whatever it is that you stole, you actually never see it. She stashes it right away out of sight. Right, and this is sort of how you guys work, right? She plays everything, doesn't give a lot of information. Later though, I imagine Asher will always kind of regret that he didn't get a better look at what this item was. So that night you guys follow your normal routine. You meet up kind of outside the warehouse district. She's got kind of like a place where she stashes things here, and you've actually never seen it before because again, she's pretty closed off. But something's different. This night she's like, "Hey, come on." And she actually leads you to this warehouse. right? It seems like this kind of unremarkable place. You see the moon of Remnant hanging overhead, right? It's late at night. And on the way, you run through the plan, right? You're going to be meeting some of the Hana guys at the Skillful. Yeah, so she can't go because she's not a huntsman. She's like, you're just going to take them the lockbox and you're going to hand it over. You're going to give them the code. Yeah, she seems kind of, give me an insight check, actually.
Hey, 16.
She seems unusually sullen, right? Like you've seen her in kind of pretty serious moods before, right? You've seen her pissed off, you've seen her kind of aloof, but you've never seen her like sullen and sad. You know, as she walks you into this warehouse, she tells you, she's like, you know, one day I'm going to have my own little empire, just like all these other gangs. And, you know, I always kind of dreamed that I would be able to start it out of this little warehouse. You know, she's like, I actually stole the deed off of somebody when I first moved to Kuchinashi, and now it's mine. So she walks you over to a point in the middle of the floor, and right, the concrete here looks different than everywhere else. And she kind of stomps on it at a couple of points, and suddenly it opens up, and inside there's several lock boxes. She hesitates for just a moment, and then kind of looks at you, and she says, you know, I actually lied to you that night we met. I made twice what I said we did. So you actually only got like 20%. I don't really know why I did that. I don't know why I'm really telling you now, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, I figured.
Does he get the 20% now?
She kind of shrugs and she's like, yeah, well, guess that's who I am. She hands you the lockbox, and yeah, do you say anything to her before you head to the Skillful?
Whenever you start your empire, just remember who helped get you here.
She's like, yeah, of course. From there, do you want to take over the story a little bit as to what happened when Asher got to the Skillful to meet with the Hana gang to hand off this lockbox?
Sure, a little bit. Yeah, you're definitely gonna need to jump in.
That's totally fine.
And so go in there, order the usual whiskey, have that sip, then kind of just scope out the place and seeing if I see who I'm meeting.
Yeah, so you met with a couple of Hana guys that fit the description that she gave you, right? They were both former huntsmen. Well, one of them's former huntsman. One of them actually has a huntsman license from a huntsman that he killed. Right? They kind of spot you first, and they kind of roll up their sleeves and show you their tattoos, and they nod you over to their table. And yeah, they ask if you've got the lockbox, and they're ready for it to be handed over.
So I walk up to the table, do the typical edgelord move where I spin the chair around and sit in it backwards while I cross my arms over the top of it, and then put the pouch on the table or whatever.
They're like, well, can you open it for us?
Yeah, payment first, and then I'll give you the code.
I don't know if you know how important this thing is. Here's what we're gonna do, right? So they stack it in the middle of the table. They're like, it's all here. And you can see from the stack, right, that it is all there, and it is more money than you have ever seen in your entire life. And they put it in the middle of the table, and they're like, we are not handing this to you until you open the box.
I give them the code. As I'm finishing saying the last letter, I'm very expectantly and pleased with myself, trying to slide the payment over towards myself.
Yeah, as you start doing that, they open the box, and they look inside, and they're like, is this some kind of joke? And they turn the box around to face you, and it's empty.
What are you talking about? Like, I'm like now immediately like completely caught off guard.
The story from there is pretty legendary, kind of around these parts. A fight broke out in the middle of the Skillful because these guys were not fooling around. You reached for your scroll and it wasn't there. Because you were going to try to get in touch with Abigail. So let's just start coming out. They actually had a guy at another table that was ready for you. 2 weapons start going off all over the place. Right from this night on, Opal had a very strict policy about conduct inside of the Skillful.
It's your fault I can't be my true self in there.
I used my semblance to blind
Yes.
them, which is the only reason.
Yeah,
It's
your
also how
semblance.
I got that scar over my eyebrow.
Yeah, your semblance was the only reason that you were able to kind of get away, and kind of like right after you used it, blind them. One of them like slashed at you, right, broke your aura. You got the scar kind of in the scuffle after, but you were able to get out of there, and you were able to manage to get a little bit of those, like a couple of those cards out. And it was the only money that you had because, I mean, there were people chasing you from that night on, and you didn't even have time to get back to your place in Kuchinashi. You just had to run for it, right? You weren't able to find your scroll. You remember later her brushing up against you as she was letting you into the narrow entry to that warehouse. And so, yeah, you leave Kuchinashi. You were able to retrieve another scroll eventually, and you kind of used it to do like a track my scroll feature, sometime later, and you found it buried kind of in a deserted town in Mistral, and it just had a note attached to it that said sorry. And so that brings us all the way back to the present.
I'm mid-eat, and I've been mid-eat this one Tacco for the last however long the length of the story is, and I'm like, that's messed up.
Pike is immediately just like, okay, who wrote the note?
And we're gonna go see her as a friend now?
If there's anyone she owes, it's me.
I don't think we can trust her, but I think she sounds connected and capable. I think it's a place to start.
I mean, I guess it does sound like she's not particularly friends with the Hana gang.
Or the wave.
Sounds like she's got some very powerful enemies as well, then.
Yeah, us.
You know, the enemy of my enemy.
Do you guys know where she is?
She mentioned a deed, right? Like of a warehouse?
It's a good place to start.
That does seem like a good place to start, right? If there's anything you want to take care of before you leave the sewer, now would be a good time to do it.
I would like to go check on Taupe. I have a bit of a soft spot in my heart after I beat up all those little kids.
I'll accompany.
Yeah, so you guys go to find Taupe, and he is working with right. They're going through all the drills that Phoenix and Pike actually showed them. You can see that they've actually improved a little bit. Right, they've been down here, just drilling, and Taupe's kind of running them through their paces. And Taupe sees you guys, and he is super excited, and several of the kids also run up, and it's just kind of like this chatter, right? They're all very excited to see you guys. Your kind of explosive escape from the sheriff's station is pretty legendary among all these kids, right? And they're all asking you with like a million questions about like how you did it. Like, we heard you fought a tank.
On the way to see Taupe, I picked up a giant bag of Taccos. And I'm giving them to the kids. I'm feeding all the kids.
You're like
Taccos.
Santa. You're like Santa.
I am Tacco Santa. Yeah.
Tacco Santa.
He's not Tacco, he's GiveO. Sorry.
Oh wow.
I was gonna suggest maybe, last time myself and Phoenix kind of talked to y'all and walked through some drills with y'all. I think it's time Arashtra and Astra showed you some of their moves.
Oh, that would be amazing, right? You're the leader of Team SAFR, and you're the other guy.
You're the in Team SAFR.
Yeah, like if the camera pans over to them, like I also like step back into frame like a little bit, like
Asher is
me
staring
too.
daggers at Pike.
I wink and I tussle Phoenix's hair. I don't know why.
Don't worry, he did this to me last time too. It'll be fine.
So last time they told us that being a huntsman is about being strong in your body and strong in your brain.
I look over at Phoenix. I'm like, solid.
So what do you guys think is the most important thing about being huntsman?
Not wasting your time, staying focused on the mission.
Okay, great. And what about you? What about you, Asher?
Staying alive.
Okay,
Okay,
great.
Tacos for everybody.
Yeah. Hey,
Let's get the
everybody.
mood back up.
Hey,
So
yeah.
he writes it down. He's like, being strong with your body, strong with your mind, staying focused on the task at hand, and not dying. Okay, great. Both of you give me charisma checks on that. Oh,
20.
so yeah, you Arashtra, you apparently need to work on kind of your people delivery, right? You give them a very kind of like breakdown of like what it means to stay focused on the mission, right? They're all kind of like, they're trying to track with you. You get a little bit nervous, like talking to these kids. It's not kind of in your wheelhouse. And as you're kind of like telling them about like not wasting their time, they sort of get the impression that like you feel like this is like a waste of your time and isn't really staying focused on your mission. And Asher, you tell them about like a time that you barely made it through a situation, and they're like, oh, this is like the raddest thing that they've ever heard, and they're super into it. And you both give them some different drills to work on. Arashtra, like yours is kind of lost in translation. They're trying to like work on this, and it's just not really working for them. But yeah, Asher, yours yeah, the drill that you give them is this kind of like a dexterity drill that they're able to do, and it helps them out a lot. During this, like Taupe is kind of sitting over to the side with you guys and watching all these kids kind of run through the paces, and he kind of tells you a little bit. You know, he's just kind of rambling. He's just so excited to have somebody to talk to. And he tells you a little bit about just kind of growing up in the village that he did. Him and his family had come kind of a long way, and right, that his family, you know, very similar to Asher's story, were killed by Grimm, and he decided that he was going to be a huntsman because it was a huntsman that saved him. And so he actually talks a little bit about kind of being this kind of like little tribe of nomads, and how, right, he was kind of strong for his age, and right, there were some bandits that came through one time, right, tried to take a couple of people hostage, but it was Taupe's kind of quick thinking that got them out of the situation. And you know, a couple of people got hurt, you know, but he was able to kind of use his quick thinking and use his strength to help out, and so he kind of tells you about that, just kind of like over the course of like 20 minutes, just like that's sort of, you know, the way a kid tells a story, right? It's like, then this happened, then this happened, then this happened, like circling back around. But that's sort of the impression that you guys pick up just as he's kind of walking through a little bit more of his life. Do you guys want to head out?
I'm ready to go to the warehouse.
Let's go.
Enough dilly-dallying.
Go ahead and let's have, I'm just going to pick one of you to do this. Let's have Pike give me a perception check.
18.
On your way out, you just notice something that seems kind of out of the ordinary. There's this whole system of like security measures that you guys have, right? Like Templeton's got these different kind of like triple arms and different things like that that are set up at these different entrances, and you guys have this whole like kind of passcode thing that you do on your way out. You notice that this one, the one on this entrance, right? You're the one that pushes the code in this time. You notice that it there's like a slight hitch in the way that it opens up.
And there's a bomb in it.
Yeah, so you notice that. Okay, so you guys make your way through this. You get to the warehouse area. You come out. It's late in the afternoon, right? It takes you a little bit, right? Because Asher, you're trying to do this from memory, and you guys get to this to the outside. It starts to look a little bit more familiar, right? You start to get towards an area that seems like you've been there before, and kind of weird. There's kind of a big like fenced in like gate thing around the outside edge of this warehouse now that you don't remember being there.
Well, it looks like she's upped her security.
Oh, you know what'd be neat is if you snuck in and then did the thing where you tapped her on the shoulder again. That would be like
that I mean, that was my plan. Can we do perception? Can we see what's going on?
Yeah, go for it.
I didn't see anything. It's 5.
I rolled
13 for me.
16.
17.
So yeah, you guys are able to tell from right just walking up that this fence has actually been here, or this kind of like this gate or whatever has been here for a while. It's a place that is meant to look abandoned, but you can kind of tell, right, that there are signs that there are people that come through here.
Honestly, I'm pretty torn on whether we should just walk right up or if we should sneak in.
You didn't wrong her, right?
She's probably not going to be happy to see me.
Well, there's 4 of us.
Yeah, and she runs a gang now.
And an independent
You're right.
inside.
You're right. She might have a child army too.
I do really like the full circle of sneaking up on her like one last time, but I guess we should just walk in. You guys go ahead of me. I'll pretend to be a delivery driver. Shadows.
Yeah, you walk in, and then all of a sudden, no, I'm kidding. You walk in, and it's actually like unnaturally quiet. You walk through this courtyard. Are you gonna go into the warehouse? And is someone sneaking or?
Yeah,
Asher,
I
if you
want
wanna
to
be
kind of
sneaky.
remain aloof if possible.
All right, give me a stealth check then.
I'm going to burn aura to get advantage on this. Okay, didn't need to
16.
probably because the first one was 21. Yeah, we're gonna stick with the 21.
Okay, so you guys walk in through the front door, right? It opens up to this warehouse, right? There's different shelves and things in here with kind of like old items, cobwebs, kind of everywhere. You actually go and give me a perception check once you get in. Asher, you sneak around. Is there like an area that you're going specifically?
Towards the objective, Eddie.
We'll say that you snuck in through like a window kind of up top, right? To kind of get like a good bird's eye view, right? Imagine like different beams and stuff going across the top of this thing. And what were your guys' perception checks?
7.
I am very perceptive today. I got an 18.
9.
A 15.
Right. You guys remember from Asher's story that there was kind of an area that she had kind of like a trick to opening. That's sort of what you guys are looking for, kind of right when you come in. You find kind of this kind of discolored area on the concrete floor where everything's a little bit different than the area around it.
But we don't see anybody.
No, you don't see anybody.
Is there any sign of like recent fire, or does it smell like someone was there recently? Like,
Do you want to use your lion senses?
Yeah, so I go ahead and I pop my super sniffer. Wapa! It is a 12, and then my second die.
It's like you get a roll for each nostril.
Oh, yeah, bad one. 5.
Oh, right when it's clogged.
You can smell something that's out of place, right? Almost kind of like the smell like when you open like new computer parts, or right. And so, but the smell kind of when you like circle around and follow your nose, it kind of leads you towards this kind of discolored spot on the floor.
Okay, this is the place that Asher was talking about. Did he tell us how she was able to open that?
He didn't remember a whole lot, right? He remembered that she stomped kind of in a few places, right? You guys can totally like investigate it and see what you see.
I'm gonna jump as high as I can and land on the discolored area.
Ooh.
Give me an athletics check on that one, actually.
11.
So yeah, that's enough, right? You jump up and you like land. Right, no finesse to this thing. It's almost like when you see like the old like Egyptian or something in Indiana Jones where it like lowers and then like starts sliding. For Asher, this is different than the last time you saw it. Before, it was just kind of this little place that like opened up that had like a little hideaway. This like opens up and it's a very loud kind of like rumbling noise where this thing clears away, and it leads down to what looks like a whole like hallway that's been kind of like carved out that leads beneath this warehouse. I'm not gonna make you give me perception checks, right? Just gonna move forward, right? It's like a staging area with weapons, and there's right computer equipment and things like that in here.
Are there like doors or tunnels or pathways?
Yeah, there's like the one. It's like a room, little staging area, and then there's like a hallway that leads out of here.
I'm good to approach the hallway. What do you guys think?
Lead the way.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I honestly, right now, is what I'm trying to debate is whether I want to come join you guys or if I still want to watch out for whatever shenanigans Eddie is trying to pull.
I will say, as trustworthy as she obviously doesn't seem, I feel like seeing you will at least give her pause, and then seeing us is probably she's going to shoot on sight.
All right. I would like to drop down from the rafters then and join everyone else in the hall of weapons.
So you guys jump down and into this place to kind of get ready to move forward down below. And as you do, you hear some speakers start to crackle, right? There's different loudspeakers that are set up, or there's like a loudspeaker set up in here. And you hear a speaker crackle. And Asher, for you, it is a very familiar voice. It's a voice you haven't heard in quite some time. It is Abigail Pyre. And you can hear the smile in her voice when she says, "Asher Mora, it has been a long time, hasn't it?" And I think that is where we are going to cap things off.
You don't want my
for this
response?
episode. No, let's get your response, and then we'll cap it off.
It sure has. And we need to talk.
Dun dun dun.
And then Mike says, who is this?
God?
God.